something maybe. Okay. So hi, Carla.
Hi, Daryl.
Hi. So can you tell our audience what it is you do and where you do it?
Sure. So I deal with a side of cancer that people don't often talk about, yet it has a direct effect on their ability to access care, adhere to treatment, and take care of their families. And that is the financial side of cancer. We are a national nonprofit organization that offers financial wraparound services for cancer patients because we understand that when someone is diagnosed with cancer, they miss work or they lose jobs. There's all of these out-of-pocket expenses that nobody plans for. And then there's the actual cost of care. So for a majority of cancer patients, that has a direct effect on their ability to access care and adhere to treatment and on their overall mental health and well-being. So Family Reach offers financial wraparound services for cancer patients.
So let's get into the problem you're trying to solve. I mean, I think every body, whether it's cancer or cardiac or toenail fungus or something, you got something that you got to pay for. What is like the real big message around you got to pay for something?
Yeah, it's this concept of a medical emergency, as you say, not just cancer. Medical emergency causes a financial crisis. And cancer you're particularly vulnerable because it is such a long period of time. So it's this imbalance. We're all doing the best we can. Life is expensive. You have all of your basic Maslow hierarchy of need costs, your housing and your food and transportation, life, right? It's expensive. We're all sort of balancing our checkbooks every month anyway. Then you throw cancer or a medical emergency in there, and your whole financial ecosystem has been completely disrupted. So now you have to pay, you're filling your gas tank more because you're going back and forth to a hospital or doctor's appointment. Your insurance co-pays, all of these little things add up on top of the fact that your paycheck has either gone or is dramatically cut because you're missing work. So it's math and it doesn't add up.
And why doesn't it add up? I mean, here we are in the United States, for the most part, about 20% of the people watching this will be places with national health care. But everyone sort of knows that the United States, people struggle with insurance, trying to understand it, trying to sort of fill out the forms correctly, and suffer the abuse of monthly bills, some or most of which have already been paid for by other people, and now people are getting double billed here and there. Why is that happening uniquely to the United States?
Yeah, you're asking the $1 million question. Why is the healthcare system so broken? And I don't know that I'm equipped to answer that. I know that the formula is that it doesn't add up. You lose income. You've got all of these layers on top of having a life-threatening or serious diagnosis. So it's a full-time job for many to figure that out. And it's broken, Daryl. And there's a lot of work that has to be done. And I'm in the trenches with patients, trying to help them with their financial reality because of cancer. And I guess I will say this to your question. I don't know that there's one thing. I think it's many things. The insurance companies, there's the cost of care, there's employers. So many people only get paid for when they work. There's the Family Leave Act. I think there's many answers to how we can solve for that problem and how it got broken over the years. I want to say one more thing. I was at a conference and there was an oncologist that was speaking. He was in his 80s and he said, I have been doing this for a long time. And it used to be me in my office with my assistant, my secretary, now doing this job, helping patients. Now I have 10 employees because I need 3 people to navigate insurance. I need somebody to enter the My Chart. I need somebody to do, so he said, now I need to employ 9 more people than I had 20 years ago just to navigate all the systems. That's broken.
Yeah. So we're going to do our best not to leave people angry and depressed at the end of this 20 or 30 minutes, but I do want us to talk about like the top level things that people just don't think about or anticipate, and innocently and appropriately because they're focused on trying to live longer, as a consequence of hearing of their diagnosis. So aside from medications, aside from the cost of paying doctor bills, what are like the top one, two, three, four, or five items or categories of things that'll now cost more or be problematic as a consequence of a cancer diagnosis?
Then Family Reach is focused on the non-medical side of cancer. So I don't step in and pay medical bills. What I do is help with those basic. Housing is the number one bill that I pay. And what we're seeing from a lot of patients, to answer your question, they need to go somewhere for treatment, or there is a trial, or you see all these commercials for St. Jude's, all the wonderful things that's happening in the hospital. So if you have to go somewhere for your treatment or go to a trial, those bills at home still need to be paid. So now you're covering two costs. You might be staying in a hotel or an Airbnb, or where are you staying to access your treatment? And how are your bills at home? And how is your family still being taken care of? So those basic bills for many cancer patients get duplicated because you have to be in two places, or you have to cover two different costs. So that's the number one that's the housing is the number one non-medical threat for cancer patients, and it's the biggest non-medical cost. So that would be the first one. And the other one is transportation. You're used to, going to the grocery store, going to work, you have your transportation. Now you're traveling to doctor's visits, you're traveling. So all of a sudden, if you were paying, you were filling your gas tank once every 2 weeks, you're now filling it once a week or more. So it's not the obvious answer. It's your basic bills just doubled.
Right, but aren't there also things that are additive as a consequence of the diagnosis? For example, you have to find new ways to be happy. You have to find new ways, perhaps consider new kinds of foods to eat. Many doctors will say, will ask, hopefully will ask their patients what are you eating. And if they say hamburgers and hot dogs, they'll say, well, switch to a Mediterranean diet, or, I'm eating tomatoes out of a dumpster. They say, go to Whole Foods, which jumps the price dramatically.
Right.
I mean, that you use the word threat is actually a wonderful, sort of beautiful construct, because it elevates the issue to where it is. It's a threat. Just as cancer threatens you with the idea of metastases and pain and misery, and ultimately the loss of life and the tears of those who care for you, it also elevates financial concerns to a threat level. And the financial concerns, money is a global idea. You pay with a card or cash or whatever, but the categories of what those monies represent is really where the threat is most crystallized and tangible. If I can't be happy because I can't pay for whatever brings me happiness, if I can't eat because the foods that might extend my life, if I can't take care of the folks in my life, et cetera. So talk more about, this is where your attention is.
Right.
Tell us more around that.
The choices that we see families making every day. I had a single father of three, two kids in high school, one in college, who had exhausted his life savings. 42% of cancer patients deplete their life savings in the first 2 years. And that's what he did. And he started eyeing he told me, he said, I started eyeing my kid's college fund. And that's when I knew I needed to opt out of treatment. I couldn't do this anymore. So they're making these choices. That was a dramatic example of a choice somebody made. This person was thinking, do I bankrupt my family and leave my three kids with nothing but debt? Or do I not continue treatment and not be here? And that's what he chose. But we're seeing families choose, do I fill my gas tank or do I go to the grocery store? What do I do? So these are choices that they're making every day, and that has a dramatic effect on your overall happiness and your ability to show up for yourself and for your family, because you're burdened with these unthinkable choices.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And they're not, I mean, you express it well in the sense like they're unthinkable. And I would suggest it's not as rare as you at your end are seeing. In your organization, you're seeing people who have found you and who are choosing to take action. At our support group network end, we see the folks who choose not to find you, who are just saying, drop me in a hospice and hope for the best. It's extraordinary the pain that paying for things causes. Aside from housing and food insecurity and transportation, what else do you see?
Utilities. So here we are, in the Northeast. So winters are cold, and families can't afford heat. Food, I think you said food is a big one. Heat, transportation. Then there's things like childcare. If a parent needs to get to treatment and they have a couple of children, now they also have to pay for childcare. So there's a lot of everyday expenses that, as you said in the beginning of this, you don't think about because you have been diagnosed with cancer, and that is all consuming, and you're learning a whole new language, and you have a whole new schedule, and you're feeling different and learning and thinking different. But life keeps going. The mailbox is still full of those bills that continue to come in. It doesn't stop. Although you feel like your life has taken a U-turn, those everyday weights and responsibilities continue to come in. And so that's what Family Reach is hoping that we can alleviate. And I think that story that you just told about some people choose to find us and some people don't, that is what I'm really interested in, is how do we let every single cancer patient know that there are resources? And what I need to do is let people know that you did nothing wrong to need Family Reach or any one of these cancer advocacy groups. Daryl, we all gather often, and we have dedicated our lives to showing up for cancer patients. For many of us, this is deeply personal, and for one reason or another. So we are devoting our lives to come in and work together to show up for the cancer community outside of their medical care. So how do we let the cancer community know that we're here? And a big goal for me is to know you're not asking for help, because that you have to be a little vulnerable for, or you feel like you did something wrong. I need help. No, the system is broken. And you got the cancer card, as did I get it. Nothing we did wrong, but here we sit in a broken system. So please tap into all of us that have dedicated our lives to say, we need to step in where the system is broken and support cancer patients, because we get it on a deeply personal level. So how do we get people to know that we're here and we want to be a part of their cancer journey?
Right. So who are the people, not who, but what do the people who do succeed in getting to your help and help of other organizations and such, what do they look like? I mean, are they old, young, white, predominantly black, or people of any other color or gender or a sexual minority or sexual majority? Who are these people that get to you? And then we'll talk about who don't, who doesn't. Yeah.
Who does it?
Yeah.
I love that question. And because Family Reach started out just as an emergency relief grant organization, so we've been here for 25 years, and we literally we were founded by two families in New Jersey who lost their child to cancer. And so they saw this side of cancer. They saw families losing their home, living in their cars, living on friends' couches. They saw it. They saw them not being able to get food or pay for parking. And so they devoted their lives to, and they started Family Reach, just originally giving out emergency relief grants. That is not an organization that you can come out and put billboards all over the cities saying we can help you, because there's not enough money. The problem is too big. So once we developed our financial wraparound services that include a financial guidebook, we give patients or families a financial coach, financial advocate that is a certified financial planner. They are a bevy of resources to help you sit down and just understand what is the financial picture and how can we help you navigate this. We have resource navigation. So now, and our grants still. So now we're more wraparound services. So to answer your question, we partner with over 500 hospitals across the country, and the oncology social workers come to us to say, I have a family that could use your resources. So until recently, people who found us came through the hospitals. Those are the ones that were lucky enough to be in one of these major cancer institutions. 57% of the population that we have served over the past 25 years have been minorities. We started out just in pediatrics, and in the past 10 years expanded to young adults and adults. So now we have equalized the age gap. What was the other question? A lot of single parents come to us because their income has been cut to zero, so they have no resources. So with COVID hitting in 2020, we were shocked to see a lot of the social workers in the hospitals furloughed, working from home, moved to other departments, and that critical link for us was broken. And so then we went outward facing. So now you can go to the Family Reach website and download our application and get a guidebook and talk to one of my resource navigators. Now we've opened up so that we can help directly. And that has really helped diversify where we are seeing patients from. And I'm grateful for that.
So you mentioned 57% minority. Are you referring by minority? What do you mean?
Black, Latina, Asian. I don't have it all
so
off the top of my head.
And of those, so mostly people 50 years old and younger or older?
Family Reach really focuses on the family. So our guidelines ask that there is a minority in the home, or sometimes you have multi-generational families, so because we were pediatric, I would still say about 60% of our families go up to from 0 to 39 are the peds and young adult. Okay. And the other 40% goes up probably, I would say 40 to 65.
All right. So I'm trying to make this relevant for our prostate cancer focused audience, who are going to be older men diagnosed with prostate cancer, a handful of transgender women, but the majority will be men. I mean, the overwhelming majority will be men, 40 years old and up, although there are many men under 40 with prostate cancer. The idea of people saying that men don't take care of themselves and don't speak for themselves. I mean, I think male care over 22 years has debunked that. I mean, that's just a sexist meme or a gender-focused form of bigotry to make an excuse for not taking care of men or not listening to men. But is there a sense that men who have had careers, who have been self-sustaining and sustaining their families, and now find themselves close to or in a form of retirement and challenged economically, I mean, that's a whole nother head trip for people. It's almost like a refugee situation. You're living in one section, and a major event forces you to move somewhere else, basically leaving everything behind. What kind of way do you welcome that kind of person?
Yeah, so many of the dads that come to us, one of the first things I hear is, I'm supposed to be able to take care of this. So I love that you are looking to debunk that. And that's why I started and will continue to say the healthcare system is broken, and to let you know that you did nothing wrong and that you are stuck in a broken system. I'm hoping everybody can understand that they did nothing wrong, and that you can't, I mean, that it's the cards are just so stacked against you when you have cancer and you're trying to take care of your family and your health. Those are two competing full-time priorities, and both are very expensive.
Yeah. Let's not leave our audience with doom and gloom too much. I mean, I've already said that 2 or 3 times. Also, I want to say, I think I was correct first by saying the word don't as opposed to doesn't. That's been sticking in my head for 10 minutes.
Wow, we're making
And
great progress.
yeah. I mean, grammar is important, and I've never been really good at it, but thank goodness for the online tools that help me now. The opportunity to help people exists. It may not be perfect or ideal or really adequate, but it's there. Of like 100 people that come to you, and let's even try 100 older people who come to you. I mean, can you rescue them? Or is it entirely hopeless for everybody to a large degree?
No, we can certainly help. We can certainly help a few ways. One is through financial education and the financial coaching. I cannot say enough about this program. When you're diagnosed with cancer, you get a medical care team. They are focused on your cancer. You have professionals working on your health, on your cancer. To have a professional financial care team, a certified financial planner that says, we can defer this, we can automate this, we can, they come in and they look at this financial situation that you're in, and they see ways to lower that stress and to lower that. We have a credit and debt consolidation program. So like a mechanic, I mean, let them come in, pop open the hood of your car, and let them just come in and move some things around. You're going to sleep better. You are going to know, okay, I have a financial plan too. The doctors are going to take care of my cancer. I now have a financial healthcare team that is going to help me take care of my finances. They go through a Family Reach training module. They understand what cancer is. They understand what it has done to your finances and to your family. They understand it's nothing you did wrong. Let them help you get a plan. It's incredible. We have resource navigators that can also plug you into all of those resources that I shared. Daryl and I, and there's so many of us that get together and see each other at conferences or on committees, who spend our life trying to figure out how can we reach more patients to say, we can help you. And you know what? You might not think you need financial help now. You might not need it for 6 months. We're still here. This offer does not expire. It doesn't. When you hear this, remember our name, remember who we are, remember the words that you did nothing wrong, that we see you and that we want to be a part of your cancer journey. And reach out. And you might even reach out to say, can you just tell me how the program works? I don't need you now, but I want to know when I do, what's available. You might know somebody that has cancer, and because people don't talk about their finances, you might want to ask them, how are you doing about your finances? Because I know of Family Reach. Or you might just say, check out Family Reach. I know they offer some really cool things outside of healthcare. Talk about it. Talk about it with the confidence that you did nothing wrong, and that 73% of cancer patients hit some sort of financial crisis in their journey. So if you're dealing with this or you're concerned about it, you're not in the minority, you're actually in the majority.
Carla, thank you for taking time to talk with us. Thank you for being part of our conference. Thank you for the work you do, and undoubtedly the people that you've and your organization and all your friends and colleagues have taken care of are grateful for everything that you've ever done for them, even if it was just put another penny in their piggy bank or so. So
Yeah.
thank you.
It's an honor to do this work, and thank you for letting us share our slice of the cancer journey.
Hey, a slice, it's never a slice. It's just like one big molecule and we're all neutrons floating around it. All right. See you around.
Thank you. Bye.